Welcome, everyone, to One Inspiring Word, where I usually share stories, tell speeches, but today is going to be one of those story days. So I have been okay, you can't classify this a normal podcast, okay? But I am going to call this a normal podcast because usually I tell speeches and share interpretation pieces, which you can check out if you want. Normal podcast for me is basically what I usually listen to other people do, which is, a lot of people do this really well, but they basically talk. And it's really entertaining. So I've been doing it for the last 2 weeks, and I've really enjoyed it. Guys, talking to myself, it's like therapy for me, but also I'm kind of self-conscious about what I'm sharing to the internet. See, I feel like the best thing, I'm obviously going off topic right now, but I feel like the best thing about not having your face on the internet is that if you want, really nothing can be traced back to you. If I show up to school one day, no one's gonna be like, oh, yo, hey, you, I saw your podcast, it was really bad, why are you talking about all this stuff? I can just chill, And I completely forgot what I was talking about. But welcome to One Inspiring Word. If you're new, welcome. So I figured on days like these, story weeks, or whatever we're going to call it, but this week's One Inspiring Word, I figured, is going to be... Wait, I didn't think of a name. I'm so sorry. Okay, so let me explain. I will classify myself as a public speaker. What do I mean by that? It means that I give speeches. Technically you're a public speaker because you speak. I feel like anyone is technically a public speaker. But just people, there are musicians out there and they love their instruments. No, I'm not one of those. No offense to my cello. I don't think I want to do it for a living. But I love my cello, okay? But the same way musicians love their instrument, I love public speaking. And it's my passion. And I believe that words can do crazy things. So I found my love because my mom signed me up for a speech class that I did not want to go to. I still remember the first assignment. It was find a picture on Google and describe it. I just know I did a terrible job because all I remember was that I just searched up flower, and then I described this real funky looking flower. I remember it kind of looked like a firework. So I'm pretty sure my teacher was really confused because I have this picture in my mind. It was this neon purple pink flower. And it literally looked like a firework. I still remember my first assignment. And it went terribly. My first semester went terribly. I still remember each week I would So there was this girl in my class. Her name was... Okay, I'm not going to give away her name. She probably doesn't want that. I'm going to call her Lotion, okay? Lotion. She's so sweet. So amazing. And so, Lotion, every week, she would come up with a nickname. And I don't even know why I was doing this, but I guess I was oh my goodness, this is so cool. I want to do the same thing as her. And I hope I didn't offend her by, copying, what she was doing. But every week, I would come up with a different name, too. And, that had, usually something to do with my name. So, I would, there was this one time I was called, Caffeine, okay? I walked into class named Kathleen. And this other time, I have these crazy, my first semester was just not the best, okay? My assignments were not very good, and I walked into that class every day, probably acting like a fool. But my teacher, I'm telling you, we're gonna call her... Actually, I said her name on this podcast, so I think it should be fine. There are plenty of Miss Bells out there, right? I really hope. No, she doesn't have anything to do with bells. So the first thing I picture when I think of bell is a cow with a bell on its neck. Like, you guys know how, like, farmers... I wonder if this is cow abuse. It probably isn't. I hope it isn't. But, I just think of those cartoons where there are these cows and they have, like a blue necklace around their neck, and they're all happy, smiling, and they just walk around the farm with a yellow bell tied to their necklace creature thing. Why did I call the necklace a creature? I don't know. But Miss Bell, she's not a cow or anything. She's, like, amazing, okay? Oh my goodness, I'm describing my teacher as a cow. I'm so sorry. Okay, I don't mean to offend you or, like, anyone. But she is, like, the best teacher I've ever had. Like, literally. I have never felt stupid. Okay, I have never been told you are stupid. I've never gotten that vibe from her or anyone in that class. Like, I feel like that teacher, Miss Bell, she has this presence that's kind of like you don't want to mess up around her, but she, like, teaches you to be kind. She teaches you how to be, I guess, in a way, like, a good person in general. Like, in the class, my speech class. Oh my goodness, did I not clarify that? Yeah, okay, so the class I'm talking about is my speech class. I hope I haven't just been talking about cows and bells and this teacher that is amazing, but you have no idea what she teaches. But she teaches speech. Well, she teaches a lot of things, and she's amazing. But I've never felt unwanted. I've never felt like, she's never told me, you will never be able to do this. Amazing teacher. I recommend it. I don't know if I should be giving this information out, okay? But if you ever run into Miss Bell, if you want, you can ask, let me think. I guess you can ask if she teaches speech. Sure, the person you asked might look at you weird, but, you could meet my, one of my heroes, so that's a plus. Yeah, amazing person. And she is, amazing, with words. She was telling me, this was so inspiring. She was telling me yesterday, or the whole class technically, she was explaining what it meant to be human. Okay? So we all searched up the word humanity. And it was basically all of us, humans as a race, or characteristics that make humans humans. And the weird thing was that the way that the person who wrote the characteristics that make humans humans, such as the things they put in, they wrote things such as kindness, compassion, sympathy. Isn't that amazing? All these crazy things happen in the world, and still someone out there goes, humans are kind. Humans show sympathy. Humans, there was one other, I think it was forgiveness. There are crazy things that happen. People get murdered. Another student in my class, put it really well. There are Amber Alerts every day. Why is that? And that's, crazy. We were just talking about how amazing it is that someone out there described humans as kind, sympathetic, and it's just crazy. She's the type of lady that makes you feel that warm feeling inside. And she was also telling us about how her summer was just an emotional roller coaster. Her house almost burnt down. How her son graduated from high school. How all these crazy things were happening. And like usual, be kind. So I don't remember exactly what she said. I feel like that's the thing with humans just in general. I don't want to make this generalization, but I feel like we tend to, whenever something is said to us, we tend to remember the things that stand out, and we tend to remember what we got from that and the emotions we felt. I don't remember what she said, okay? And even if I said it, the exact word she said, I feel like I wouldn't it wouldn't be just as magical. And so that's why my topic for this speech class this year is going to be humanity. And so, guys, I just want to say, I want to make a really good speech this year, okay? I want to blow someone's socks off. Okay, maybe not actually, because that sounds really dangerous, and I don't want someone to, like, end up like a human balloon. But if you know what I mean, the idiom, or is that an idiom? That's what you have there. Oh my goodness, what is my problem? I've been getting so frustrated with myself lately. Like, right now, for example, I'm just repeating myself. You probably, if you're listening to this, you probably didn't click off yet. But I bet so many people have just clicked off already because they were just tired of what I had to say. Like, I'm just so frustrated right now. Okay. That's okay. Okay, so this week, that was my inspiring word. I guess my teacher, Miss Bell, amazing woman. That's what being a teacher is about. Making a student not ever feel unwanted, making them feel loved, making them feel talented, improving them as a person and in whatever subject you're teaching. Because, like, if that student walks out of your class as a good person, that is an accomplishment. And that's one of the reasons why humanity is listed as kind, forgiving, and sympathetic. My sister knows my phone password. And that's because my dad it was both my dad and my fault. I don't want to put any blame on this, but what happened was we were in the car one day, okay? We were in our tiny little red car, okay? And my dad, I guess he didn't want us to see it, but what he did was he put the phone in the middle, right between the two passenger seats. So not only could I see the password, I already knew the password, but my little sister also saw the password. And so now she knows my password because what are the chances you find my phone, right? Okay, my password is, let me think, 147, I think, and then 369, something like that, okay? And my dad's password is that backwards. So now, like, my sister knows my password because she's smart. So my little sister downloaded this chicken game on my phone. I'm being serious. A chicken game. And basically what happens is that in the game, it's one of those games where, I guess, you just earn money from whatever your task you're doing, and then you use it to buy more, to make more money. Okay? More animals, I guess. So what happens is, you start out with a chicken, and this chicken lays eggs. It's an assembly line. The chicken eats food, lays eggs. But it's like repeatedly laying eggs. Like, that's like what it would sound like. But what happens is, once you earn more money, which you definitely, you will when you play this game, you buy more chickens. And all of a sudden, there are 20 chickens on this conveyor belt laying eggs onto another long conveyor belt. And all these different eggs, because these chickens are like completely different. There's like the alien chicken, there's the poop chicken, there's all these chickens, and they are earning money for you. And then all of a sudden there are cows. And all of a sudden we have sheep too. See, I feel like the sheep one is very disturbing because it's just this farmer like consistently cutting wool off like all these sheep, like the golden sheep, there's like multicolored sheep, there's all these different sheep, but it's kind of disturbing because they cut off all the wool until like the sheep is completely pink and it looks like it's kind of cute, but like this pig creature, and it's cute but like scary, and then the pig creature runs off and all of a sudden there's another sheep and it just keeps on going. It's just really odd, and you earn money and then you just expand your farm, and it's just Yeah, and it's kind of addicting. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I feel like a bunch of games like these are. And I don't know how I ended up with this game on my phone, but it just popped up one day, and it was obviously my sister's, like, did it. Guys, what? Do you guys have any apps, like, on your devices? I don't know, like, maybe computer or phone or iPad because of an ad? Because I was thinking, like, I use TikTok sometimes, and there are ads everywhere on that. And I also use YouTube, and there are ads everywhere on that. And sometimes they are of games. And so I feel like as someone that kind of fell for this, they usually like put up this like ad that's like completely different of what the game was. Like there's this one ad, and it was of this lady who was cold, and she had a baby and she was cold, and I think she was like just, I don't know what happened, but I just felt so bad because like the person that was like pretending to play the game, they were like screwing up her life. Like, okay, so she like found this old house, and so like, so the two things you had to do, you had to board up the window, and you had to what was it? You had to board up the window, and you had to like light a fire in the house. But this person was like, it's just so irritating because what they do is that they make the worst choice possible, and it makes you like want to punch the screen. Like that is such a smart ad technique. Like I've seen so many ads that are just of this person screwing up, like not screwing up, but they're just like messing up the game like so badly. Like it's so obvious. Like it doesn't matter if it's like pick the chicken and they like click on the apple or something. Like it's just that obvious, and it's like just it makes you want to buy the game. Oh, and by the way, when I did download the game, it was of this matching game of the lady, she doesn't have a baby, but it's of this lady who is expanding her aunt's garden. Has nothing to do with that. And also the app cover is of this cold lady holding a baby. So I don't know what's up with that. Like the game's called Blank's Garden. I don't want to advertise for them, but it's just, I don't know, you know, like stuff like that. Like what's up with that? I feel like I'm just blabbering away because it's not until I edit like this episode until I know like if this podcast is entertaining or not. So I don't know if this is successful, if I just wasted a few minutes talking about my life, but there's that. And so the other thing I wanted to talk about is, so I go to my school, right? And okay, wait, that isn't a question you probably can answer, but I go to school. Okay, yeah, I go to school, okay? And it's a private school, and we have uniforms. And so I didn't get my uniform until maybe 2 weeks before like school started. We missed some times that we could buy the clothing, and because it's like a private school and it's one of those like ones with the uniforms, you like it's very strict dress code. And so I went to the school on Monday, and I went in. I'm going into 7th grade, okay? But I went in wearing apparently a fourth grade just shirt, and I was so embarrassed. I was like, you know that feeling, like you feel like when you don't exactly know what's happening, but you're like, you think you're doing the right thing, but you're not sure, and you feel like you're doing something wrong and everyone's judging you. Yeah, that's how I felt. And so I was like, oh no, what if someone noticed me wearing this 4th grade outfit? And it wasn't like that noticeable, but yeah, that's that. We did buy a few like other pairs of the same shirt that was like not a 4th grade version. Did I mention that these resales? So it's not like where I'm buying my uniform, it's not like new clothes. It's old clothes that have been worn. And some of them have like stains on them, and I went again today, and there was this one shirt that had like, it was like pink, and it's supposed to be white. I ended up buying it because I needed 2 pairs, and those were the only 2 pairs that were left. But they were like dirty, and I'm like, and that's like my fault because like we didn't go like earlier in the year, and we didn't like buy a new version of the shirt. So, I'm just thinking of wearing other people's sweat and whatever jazz they're emitting out of their body. But that's just weird to think about. But yeah, I have like 75% of my clothes is from my mom's friend's child. So I think I don't want to get dress coded, but I just have a feeling I will this year. So that's gonna be fun. It's kind of like that feeling you get when you like feel like you're forgetting something. Like whenever I get that feeling, it always is because I did forget something. I don't know if it's like my mind just like built differently, but it always, whenever I get that feeling, I always did forget something. And so I don't know, like I just know that something bad's gonna happen this year. Like I'm gonna get dress coded. And they're like, yeah. So I'm really nervous. But like the teachers are all really nice. There are a lot of guy teachers. I've never had like a guy teacher in like academics. So that's cool. And it's not co-ed. I don't know if that's a pro or con. Okay? And I don't want to offend anyone. So I'm not going to say anything about how it's single gender. I think a lot of people have started school already. So if you are still in school, I hope you have a great year, and I think I'm going to end this podcast here. Thanks for listening if you're still here. And I don't usually promote anything, but check out my socials. This episode is available on YouTube. It's just a picture of the cover of the episode. But that's that. And also, I promised you guys an update on my white eyebrow, okay? And I lost the hair. I was so upset. It's gone. Okay, that's kind of gross. It's probably somewhere. But I'm telling you, that's not normal, okay? I'm 12 and I have white hair. That's not normal, okay? I have not turned into Albert Einstein yet, unfortunately. So I'm going to end it there. Bye, guys. Have a great, awesome day, year, week, whatever. Bye.